Morning, Ms. Bridges. Good morning, Joe.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Your Honor.
In the matter of People versus Herrell on 251994, appearances for the record.
Apologies, Your Honor. I believe Ms. Turner is also interviewing and did that interview, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm just gonna. Mr. Herrell, you're charged with carrying a concealed weapon. Alleged date is 5/3 of 25 and Perkins and Jenna C. Maximum penalty is 5 years or $2,500. I'm just going to ask you if you understood the nature of the charges against you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to give you some dates on your next court date. Pre-exam conference is 5/12 at 2:30. Preliminary exam is May 19th at 3 o'clock. That's going to be in front of Judge Hoffman. I did have a chance, Mr. Herrell, to review. I believe you have no prior record. I believe this may have resulted allegedly from a stop. I'm not sure. Exactly. But are you working at all?
Yeah.
Cool.
You
What
said
I'm-
mom was up there? I said mom.
So it's important for you to contact us for the assigned counsel. And then court dates will also be mailed to you at the Dale Road address. So, all right. And then any questions, just ask once you get your attorney. If you hire a lawyer, then he or she will get their appearance in. But right now, we'll refer you over to Office of Assigned Counsel. Okay. All right, you are all set. Take care and be well. In the matter of People versus Harrison on 251993, appearances for the record.
Your Honor, Teresa Bridges on behalf of Mr. Harrison, who's present via Zoom.
Okay. And waive the reading.
Yes, Your Honor, we would waive a formal reading, plead not guilty, and ask for a referral to the Office of Assigned Counsel, and I can address bond when the court's ready.
I left my sheet. It's the arraignment sheet. I wrote on it. Sorry about that. So the court went a plea of not guilty, Office of Assigned Counsel. Pre-exam conference is May 12 at 11 a.m. Preliminary exam is May 22nd at 9 a.m. That's going to be in front of Judge Jurens. And then as to bond.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Harrison indicated to me that he's no longer living at the shared address with the complaining witness. He was also forthcoming with me that he is currently on parole. It's his understanding that he does have a parole hold as well. We would just ask the court for some amount of bond with the knowledge that Mr. Harrison does have that parole hold pending.
All right. Let's see. So court ordered plea of not guilty, Office of Assigned Counsel. I did give the dates. I've had a chance to review Mr. Harrison's prior record. In addition, the fact that, yes, he is on parole, but there are numerous assaultive crimes involving intimate partner abuse. Given that those prior incidences, numerous prior incidences, he is charged as well with intimate partner abuse, third offense. This court deems Mr. Harrison a risk to society in that danger to intimate partners. Therefore, bond will be set at $100,000, cash surety only. Should he make bond, then there will be a GPS lockdown. Thank you.
Thank you.
The matter of People versus Shorter on 244371 and 251992. Appearances for the record.
Teresa Bridges on behalf of Mr. Shorter, who is present via Zoom. We would waive a formal reading, plead not guilty, and ask for a referral to the Office of Assigned Counsel. I do have an updated address for Mr. Shorter at 3170 North Michigan, and that's in.
If you could chat those off to us, please.
Yes, I will. Beyond that, Your Honor, we can address bond when the court's ready.
I'm ready. Court ordered plea of not guilty in Office of Assigned Counsel.
Mr. Shorter indicated to me he is a lifelong resident of Saginaw County. For the last 2.5 years, he's been working full-time as a fabricator at Saginaw Control and Engineering. He does have one child, age 5, who does not live with him, but he does pay support and is current on that support. I also did go over a no contact order with Mr. Shorter. He indicated he understood and that the updated address that is forthcoming via chat is not a shared address with the complaining witness. For those reasons, Your Honor, we would ask the court to consider a personal recognizance bond, potentially with additional conditions such as CST counseling for Mr. Shorter today.
See that in 22 is charged, well, 22, a couple different times. Check see if they're the same victim. Oh, I remember, yes. It's McLaren that's the victim in this. It's the victim in other cases. I believe in the other cases there were in the 22 cases there was a history of bench warrants. I saw in the bond recommendation that another prior case the victim did not want to proceed. However, bond recommendation by the people is most recent is wanting of assistance for the court. And it's incomplete at best. Says absolutely nothing. I'll take the matter under advisement, given that following the court rule, I'll probably do the least restrictive. There will be a no contact. Do you understand that, Mr. Shorter? No contact with Ms. McLaren?
Yes, I do.
Also going to include pretrial programming with CST counseling. Question I have now is hearing prior to I'll get a bond decision, but it will absolutely include no contact and pretrial programming with CST counseling. You're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor.
In the matter of People versus Arthur Veila on 251995, 242576, and 251077. Appearances for the record.
Gary Turner on behalf of Arthur Veila. For the new charges, we would enter a plea of not guilty, refer to OAC, waiver formal reading.
Court will enter plea of not guilty, Office of Assigned Counsel. With regard to file number 242576, court will recall the bench warrant. That is on the domestic violence case. In addition, this court issued a bench warrant in that alleged in the bench warrant that the defendant had violated pretrial services day reporting bond by failing to test. This court did place a hold, so I'll recall bench warrant. There will be a hold on the 242576 files. Or anything else you want to say as to the bond on behalf of Mr. Veila?
Your Honor, I had a limited conversation with Mr. Veila. We would just ask for a reasonable bond.
3,500 cash surety, 3,500 cash surety. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
in regards to People versus Patrick Akins on, let's go tickets 342 6837 891 6891. File number 244075, and then 202053. Appearances for the record.
Teresa Bridges on behalf of Mr. Akins, who is present via Zoom. Your Honor, in regards to 03426837, Mr. Akins indicated to me he has been making payments. He indicated that he's currently on SSI, however, and therefore on a very, very fixed income, and been making his best attempt to pay this off. He also is starting work on May 21st at Amazon in the warehouse, part-time, in the hopes that that will obviously grant him more funds. So we would just ask the court to recall the bench warrant and allow him to continue to make his best effort with payments, give him additional time to pay so that he can start work in a few weeks and increase those payments thereafter. I can address the other matters as well right now if you'd like, Your Honor.
Well, let's get rid of the one. I'm gonna recall bench warrant on 16891. It was 150 or 2 days on, I don't know. Suspend, credit time served. So that one ticket that Judge Hoffman did a bench warrant on is taken care of. I believe the one is Judge Clark's. So I'll recall the bench warrant. Refer back to D6. I gave a PR bond last time. Which ticket this is? Judge Clark sentenced him, but it's like Judge. Hoffman did the bench warrant. Don't understand that. The second bench warrant would fail to appear. That's refer back to D6. 500. You gotta make payments on those. All right, now on the felony file. Court, did you waive the reading? I'm sorry, I was.
Apologies, Your Honor. I was going one at a time. In regards to the felony file, we would in fact waive a reading, plead not guilty, and ask for a referral to the Office of Assigned Counsel and can address bond when the court's ready. I do have an updated address for Mr. Akins. I can send that to everyone in the chat.
Please do. Pre-exam is 5:15 at 1:30. Preliminary exam is 5:23 at 3 p.m. That's in front of Judge Clark. And then as to bond.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Akins indicated he's a lifelong resident of Saginaw County. As I said before, but just to reiterate, he is currently on SSI. He is planning on starting at the Amazon warehouse on 5/21. He also has 2 children, both of whom live with him. Their ages 1 and 5. Again, he is motivated to get these resolved and as well as the bench warrants, but he's motivated to get these resolved, Your Honor. And I did kind of go over what he can expect as far as communication from both the court and OAC. He knows if he does not hear from the court as far as court notices to reach out. I don't anticipate any issues with failing to appear. And we'll get that updated address sent over to you.
I do see that he made a payment on 3/14 of 252, but he didn't come to court on the on the promise. He promised to pay the amount on 3/18. Oh, no, circuit court was applied. Oh, I see. That was transferred over from circuit court. Oh, okay. Recall bench warrant. 98 cash bond.
How much?
That's on
Well, how much did you
202053.
say?
198 cash bond. I have 5 prior bench warrant indicators, at least 4 bench warrants issued since the initiation of the case on that one, so that's a cash only one. With regard to the felony file, the allegations are larceny in a building. Oh, I remember that. 1,500 cash surety, 10%. Review of the record shows numerous violations of bond or probation. Therefore, court believes that a monetary bond is necessary to ensure attendance at court hearings. This one didn't say. You call. And then bond. Okay. I'm sure they'll read all that. In the matter of People versus Torrance Baker, 251982, appearances for the record.
Gary Turner on behalf of Torrance Baker, we would waive a formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty, refer to OAC.
Okay. Court will enter plea of not guilty, office of assigned counsel. Pre-exam is 5:12 at 9 a.m. Preliminary exam is 5:19 at 10:30. That will be back in this courtroom. Esteban.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Baker has lived in Saginaw County for his entire life. He is currently unemployed at the moment, so he does have limited income. He was forthcoming about his past criminal history and the fact that he is currently on bond with, I believe, your court.
I let
We
him
would
off.
ask.
I got
Oh,
an
sorry.
application for a second. Given that, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Ms. Turner, but I view that Mr. Baker is a threat not only to the victim but to the community. Therefore, bond will be set at $1 million. Cash surety. No contact with the victim. In the matter of People versus Gill, 251990.
Gary Turner on behalf of Eddie Gill, we will waive a formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty, refer to OAC.
Plea of not guilty. Office of assigned counsel. Esteban, please.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Gill is a lifelong resident of Saginaw County. He does currently work full-time at Little Caesars. He also has one child at the age of 16 who he currently lives with and takes care of. We would ask for a reasonable bond for Mr. Gill.
I believe there's a 23 paternity or divorce matter that was resolved. Court reviewed the order in that case as to custody. In addition, the court reviewed the court records with regard to Mr. Gill. There's no showing of non-appearance. So there'll be a personal recognizance bond. No contact, however. You understand, Mr. Gill, no contact?
Sir? Go ahead. I mean, you're off mute now. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
All right. Pre-trial programming with CST counseling. You must contact CST counseling within 5 days of release, so you'll have to do that this week in order to register for the classes. Should you fail to do so, will mean that
Would the phone number be on the paperwork?
phone number will be on the paperwork, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Matter of Dominic Lalo on 235352, file number 235598, and file number 23260. Appearances for the record.
Gary Turner on behalf of Dominic Lagalo, we would waive a formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty, refer to OAC.
Court went a plea of not guilty, also assigned counsel with regard to the failing to pay on child support. Pre-exam is 5:15 at 1:30. Preliminary exam is 5:23 at 2:30. That's going to be in front of Judge Clark. With regard to case number 235598, court went a plea of not guilty, office of assigned counsel as well. And then a pretrial hearing is set for May 23rd in front of Judge Clark as well at 9 a.m. on that file. As to bond, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Lalo has lived he said for the past few years in Saginaw. He is employed at Red Horse full time. He has indicated he has no pending criminal cases other than these ones. We would ask for a reasonable bond for Mr. Lalo.
All right. With regard to file number 23260, defendant failed to respond to a 10-day letter as to payment of fines on found as a trespass case. Now, we'll go into McCrae. What was originally charged? Oh, resisting obstruction. Oh, I signed it. Mr. Legallo, if you were drug tested today, how would you test?
For alcohol and a little bit of marijuana.
I remember right, you have you were in other areas of the country. You had some cases out in Wyoming, did you, or somewhere? You had two other jurisdictions, Georgia or Wyoming? Where was that? Oh, I remember you. I don't remember where it was. I think it was Wyoming. Do you have some cases out in Wyoming?
Go ahead. You're off mute. You can talk.
Yes.
With regard to this, I don't have to set up a hearing on you paying your fines in that other case. Paying the payment. When are you gonna pay your case?
I still haven't released that, sir.
When are you gonna pay?
When am I gonna pay for what, sir?
That trespass case, you had an R&O and it got pled down to trespass.
If I could set up another payment plan, that'd be great.
I'm sure it would be great, but you didn't keep your first one, so why should I give you another one?
If you could give me another chance, I could prove you right. I just went going through tough times.
Do that. Well, before I make a decision on bond and all that other, let me see what's actually floating through your system. And then we'll go from there. Jail, we could drug test Mr. Legallo. I'll take under advisement and then
Yes, sir.
at least have some type of sober link device on you, so that's given your problems over in Wyoming or that other state. Alcohol seems to be your issue. All right. In the matter of People versus Adam Reeman on file number 242424. Appearances for the record.
Larry Turner on behalf of Adam Reedman.
The bench warrant. He didn't show up to drug test for me when I asked him.
Sir, that day I had tore off the customer's roof, and when you told me to go across the street to the jail, it started raining, and I didn't want to.
You're gonna melt?
What's that?
You're gonna melt?
I'm sorry, I didn't want the customer's roof to be damaged from the rain. We had tore it off and I came to court on my break. And when I went outside, you told me I could go across the street, you waived the $10 fee. You told me I could go across the street and drug test, and I wasn't able to. I went right to the job because I had to tarp the roof off because it started raining. And no, I did not make it back to drug test.
Later
And then
you did.
also, what's that?
A year later you did, because it's a year later, or almost a year later.
Well, no, okay, and then since then, I've had 2
Let's go
hospitalizations.
through the affluent. How are you gonna drug test?
If you drink right now,
Yeah, right now.
I'm not sure on, I can just tell you that I'm still using fairly regularly cocaine.
Jail, could you drug test them and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. All right, have a good day.
Down here.
This is Michael Simpson, 251991.
I'm sorry, did you say Simpson?
Yes, Michael Simpson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Carrie Turner on behalf of Michael Simpson, we would waive a formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty, refer to OAC.
Court will enter plea of not guilty, office of assigned counsel, as to bond.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Simpson is a lifelong resident of Saginaw County. He is self-employed. He does remodeling work. He does that full time. He has a very limited criminal history, just traffic and marijuana. He does have a son at the age of 8 that currently lives with him. We would ask for a PR bond or in the alternative, a reasonable bond for Mr. Simpson.
I remember Mr. Simpson, but I don't think it's as limited as what it is. We're seeing him on something, I can't quite, was it another domestic violence? May have been.
I recently just turned myself in for because I had a warrant for my arrest. I don't have any domestic violences on a lady that I was with a long time ago said that I put my hands on her, but she never went along with it because it was all a lie, you know, so. I don't hit women, sir. I try to leave and that's all I can do, man. You know, I'm the one that's beat up. I mean, like I told the lady that I talked to, you probably hear the stories all the time, but my mom died when I was 17 years old. I don't hit women, sir.
Yeah, because I see. All right, okay. Didn't I just see you on something on?
Yeah, I just turned myself in for a warrant. I had a traffic ticket, driving without suspended. I believe. I'm barely in jail or deal with you guys at all, so I'm just as confused as you are, but sir, sorry. Like I said, I've been in here for traffic tickets. I got caught when I was like 20-something years old with a little bit of weed. You know, I'm not a
Talking way too much, and I'm trying to figure out why you're talking. All right. Who do you live with over on North Bond?
I live with my girlfriend, sir.
Where are you gonna be since there's a no contact?
I can go stay with my sister until this gets dealt with. We love each other. We'll work it out and we'll go through the process to where we have to stay away from each other for a while and we'll get back together. I mean, I've never had to deal with this situation like this before. You know, we love each other and she apologized to me when I was leaving.
You're talking. Ask for pretrial investigation. All right. You'll get your bond. It's going to include pretrial programming. You just chatty for some reason. In the matter of People versus Williams on 245-467, ticket number 892-727, appearances for the record.
Teresa Bridges on behalf of Mr. Williams, who's present via Zoom. We would waive a formal reading, plead not guilty, and ask for a referral to the Office of Assigned Counsel. I do have an updated address for Mr. Williams that I will send in the chat.
Court will enter plea of not guilty, Office of Assigned Counsel. I have pre-exam on 5/12 at 11:10, a preliminary exam on May 22nd at 10 a.m. That will be in front of Judge Jurens. With regard to the traffic matter, court will enter plea of not guilty, Office of Assigned Counsel. It is a traffic matter. I'll do a PR bond. All right, as to bond.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Williams indicated to me he's a lifelong resident of Saginaw County. He is currently staying with family intermittently at different addresses. However, the address that I will send to the court is a mailing address and a consistent mailing address for him. We would ask the court to consider a low 10% bond in this matter.
Mr. Williams, is he working or high school, college?
You can hear me, Your Honor?
What'd you say?
Can you hear me, Your Honor?
Yeah, I can hear you. You finish high school? You working?
I'm currently going back to school now. I'm trying to get my barber's license.
Allegation says you're a little more into that short money as opposed to, using talents to get a long-term life plan. Short money gets you in trouble. Short money, chasing that short money got you probably where you're at now. You're charged with converting a semi-automatic firearm to an automatic firearm. There's too many people dying in our community because of gun violence. This court's a little concerned about that. In addition, I see as a juvenile placed on a supervised probation regarding the fleeing of a police officer. Kind of shows you're a little concerned about whether or not you're coming to court. A little worried about paragraph 8 there. Again, that short money gets you in trouble. People have asked for a $60,000 cash surety 10% with tether. It was more than generous in the light of the fact that the allegations are converting a semi-automatic firearm to an automatic firearm. Given the nature of the charges, given the information that's come before this court, given the prior record, found to be set at $60,000 cash surety, 10% with tether. All right. Get you an attorney, young man, and get the process, and then get someone that's going to advocate on your behalf, and then they can do a bond motion that readdress bond at a later date. In the matter of People versus Fleming, 242297. Court, though, is more worried about whether he's going to make it to the next day given his young age. So for safety of the victims, safety of the for the defendant, bond is set at the $60,000 cash surety 10%. People versus Fleming on 242297. Appearances for the record.
Teresa Bridges, on behalf of Ms. Fleming, who's present via Zoom, we would waive a formal reading, plead not guilty, and ask for a referral to the Office of Assigned Counsel. I did confirm Ms. Fleming's best address as listed on the complaint and can address bond when the court's ready.
I want to plea of not guilty, Office of Assigned Counsel. Ms. Fleming, your pretrial is set for May 23 at 9 a.m. before Judge Clark. Esteban, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Fleming indicated to me she's a lifelong resident of the Mid-Michigan area. She is currently working as a CNA at close to home. She's full-time. She's been there consistently for a year. She also has 6 children, the oldest of which is 13, the youngest of which is 1 year old, all of whom live with her. We would ask the court, in light of these things, to grant her a personal recognizance bond today.
I believe Ms. Fleming has a bench warrant out of Bay County. Yeah, bench warrant out of Bay County. Ms. Fleming, if you were drug tested today, how would you test?
Negative.
I'm going to have you drug tested, Ms. Fleming. If any substance should appear, the Herrell will be concealed. I don't have a problem giving you a PR bond. In accordance with the court rule, you have somewhat of a prior record, but not much to. So, but the conditions are no driving, no substances, alcohol, marijuana, or any substances. And so, all right. Dale, if I could have Miss Fleming drug tested, and then I'm not sure Bay City. I know that Bay City warrant is a little older from what I recall. I doubt that they've come to pick you up.
It was from when I was 16. I was on probation.
No, I understand. I've never seen parts of it. It's important you come to court, but I'm going to have you drug tested. I'll take it under advisement until I see the test results. If you come back negative, then it'll be a PR bond, no driving, no alcohol, illegal controlled substances. You'll be on day reporting so you can be tested. All right, you're all set. In the matter of People versus Buford on 7327211. Hello, Ms. Buford.
Teresa Bridges, on behalf of Ms. Buford, who's present via Zoom, we would waive a formal reading, plead not guilty, and ask for a referral to the Office of Assigned Counsel. I do have an updated address for Ms. Buford that I will send to the court.
All right, thank you. For winner, plea of not guilty, Office of Assigned Counsel. Ms. Buford, you're going to come to court to handle this on the next court date?
Yes.
I'm sure it'll be resolved on that. If you have your license, make sure you bring it with you so it can be taken care of. And then your bond. Make sure you give Office of Assigned Counsel a call so they can kind of direct you through this. Trying to get you a license so you don't keep coming to court. Although this is so if you have one, great. But all right, you're all set. Your bond. Have a good day.
How much will it gonna be?
Should be released in about 45 minutes. Yeah. However long it takes to process. Yep. Take care. In the matter of People versus Coin on 246516.
Teresa Bridges, on behalf of Ms. Coyne, who's present via Zoom. Your Honor, this is a bench warrant for failure to appear for sentencing. It also does have a hold for Judge Clark. We would just ask the court to recall the bench warrant at this time.
Ms. Coyne, if you were drug tested today, how are you going to test?
Probably dirty.
We can drug test Ms. Coyne for Judge Clark. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. And then there is a hold. I'll let Judge Clark know that you are in custody. You are all set. In the matter of People versus Brianna White, 25182 and 25525. Appearances for the record.
Teresa Bridges, on behalf of Ms. White, we would waive a formal reading, plead not guilty, and ask for a referral to the Office of Assigned Counsel.
All right. Office of Assigned Counsel, court winner, pleas of not guilty. This is with Judge Fickner. First appearance is on May 15th at 8:45, and then preliminary exam is May 22nd at 3:30. That's on both cases. And then as to bond.
Your Honor, my conversation with Ms. White was cut short. We weren't able to have a full discussion. I would just ask the court to consider a low 10% bond today.
And Miss White, if you were drug tested today, how would you test?
I might be positive for cocaine, but that's it.
I appreciate you letting me know. Miss White, I'm going to have someone from CMH, or hopefully someone from CMH, talk with you. Let's do this. I'm going to refer you for court recommendation for CMH, jail diversion program. I'll let Judge Fickner know that she's getting these cases and that they're on their way over. And then someone from pretrial services will talk to you, and hopefully someone from community mental health will talk to you. You're all set right now. Bond under advisement. Pending report and recommendations. In the matter of People versus Blake Brewer on 251-886, appearances for the record.
Carrie Turner, on behalf of Blake Brewer, we would waive a formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty, refer to OIC.
Okay. Court winner, plea of not guilty, Office of Assigned Counsel. I have pre-exam on 5/12 at 9 a.m., preliminary exam 5/19 at 10:30, back in this courtroom, and then as to bond.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Brewer has lived in Saginaw County for the past 9 years. He's currently employed full-time at Elite Siding and Roofing. He has a limited criminal history, just traffic, and it looks like one domestic violence charge. We would ask for a reasonable bond for Mr. Brewer.
All right. Thanks. In accordance with state law, the amount of bond in a failed to pay support can be $500 or 25% of the arrearage, whichever is greater. In the present case, it's alleged that the outstanding support is close to $20,000, just under $20,000. So, two bond conditions. One, in accordance with state law, bond will be a $4,500 cash bond, and then no contact with Jessica Enzer. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
In the matter of People versus Carl McCrae on 716-405 and 892-5816. Appearances for the record.
Teresa Bridges, on behalf of Mr. McCrae, who is present via Zoom. In regards to both of these matters, we would waive a formal reading, plead not guilty, and ask for a referral to the Office of Assigned Counsel. I did confirm the address as listed on the ticket as Mr. McCrae's best address and can address bond if the court wishes.
I don't think so. Mr. McCrae, it's just going to be important for you to contact Office of Assigned Counsel. You got 2 DWS tickets here. I'm sure they're going to be resolved on the next court date. I will let you know the Secretary of State's license is not valid, so you may have to go there and figure out what you got to do. I'm sure these will be all resolved on the next court date. Our goal is to get you a license, and that's what we're gonna do. So you are all set right now. Yep, take care.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And people versus Puchacz. I apologize. I cannot pronounce it. Devin Schatz, maybe 251868. Appearances for the record.
Teresa Bridges on behalf of Mr. Puchez, who is present via Zoom. We would waive a formal reading, plead not guilty, and ask for a referral to the Office of Assigned Counsel. I did confirm the address as listed on the complaint as Mr. Puchez's best address and can address bond when the court's ready.
Winner plea of not guilty. Office of Assigned Counsel. Pre-exam is 5/12 at 11:10. Preliminary exam is 5/22 at 9:30 in front of Jerens Esteban.
Mr. Puchez indicated to me he's a lifelong resident of Saginaw County. He is currently looking for work. He does have a promising lead. His brother works at Hemlock Solar Fields, and he's expected to start there in the coming weeks. He also was forthcoming with me that he is having some significant health issues. He has a staph infection on his arm that is needing to be consistently changed and addressed. We would just ask the court in light of this to grant either a personal recognizance or a low 10% bond in this matter so that Mr. Puchez can not only get to work, but also can go to the hospital for his infection.
If he were drug tested today, how would he test?
Well, I would be dirty for opiates and, but I have a prescription for that, but I didn't use medicine.
I didn't ask you about that. You do have a bench warrant out of Traverse City. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know about that.
All right. The allegation is serious. Even the defendant is shown this court's concerned whether or not he appeared in court.
I couldn't hear anything.
I'm making a record. I'm just making a record that I'm concerned that you won't show to court because you have a bench warrant out of Tawas. And if you won't show up there, I'm a little worried you won't show up here. And given that the concern I also have with regard to safety of the community, bond would be set at 5,000 cash surety, and then thank you, Jail.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.